He did that. It's actually better that he did that.
Yeah,
it would have got real awkward for them.
Yeah,
but you know, all you had to do was look down.
Now
at
he
the
has
sign.
no excuse.
Yeah, now there's really no excuse.
Now there's really no excuse. Now he knows that what we've been telling him is for real, because we really out here, man.
Straight.
We're really out here, man. This ain't something that we just talk about at home, man. And we just talk about on YouTube, man. We actually out here on the highways and byways, man, like the Lord commanded us to do. We came out here, like Ezekiel chapter 3 said, and go out and speak unto my people.
Yep.
We're out here doing this, man.
Great boldness, too. All right? Great boldness. We're not out here trembling and scared and timid. We're out here telling you to your face what the prophecies say.
Yeah, because, hey, we ain't out here. I would have seen him come, oh, shit, man, brother, let me hide behind you.
Yeah, type of shit.
I see somebody I know from the world. Nah, man. I shook his hand, I shook his girl. Yeah, hey, man, we trying to do a lesson. You know, we got, all right, man, you know.
This thing, you just go.
Yeah, man, just go on about your business, man.
We're not trying to get this edification, let's go, because we're not answering no dumb questions right now.
Yeah.
But back to the story.
But he knows the deal. He knows how
you all done to Ash told him?
Yeah.
Don't even know. They don't even know who they're standing in front of.
Yeah.
Back to the story.
Okay.
So we
it's a lot.
No, that's beautiful
that had to be
edification.
brought up, man.
Yeah. So back in 1 Maccabees chapter 1, we're going to start at verse 4. And gathered a mighty strong host, which is army, and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. Okay, so all these different nations became tributaries unto Alexander. Okay, out of fear, out of being conquered. Okay, because he came by with the sword, did his thing, and everybody had to rule, had to be ruled over. Verse 5. And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Hey, so what happened to Alexander the Great in history? Did not the man get sick and die while he was young? What he only ruled for what, 13 years?
11 was it?
11?
We're gonna get to it. It says it. 12.
12. Go ahead.
And he died of some nasty disease too.
Syphilis or AIDS or some shit.
Yeah.
He was a faggot, some shit like that.
Syphilis, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Alexander,
yeah.
Yeah, he died of syphilis. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, I believe it was. I know it was some sexually transmitted disease. I don't know how he caught it, but it was something, man. He caught it somehow.
He fucked some.
That goes to show you that these Edomites are the creators of these damn diseases out here, man. Because going back from Alexander the Great, he had syphilis. He had syphilis, man. And what he do? What did the so-called white man do when he came over to America? He brought nothing but straight disease. That goes to show you that the originator of all these wicked-ass diseases that you see out here, AIDS, syphilis, smallpox.
Cancer.
Tell me that smallpox was not of the so-called white man.
Go ahead.
What did he do to the so-called Native Americans? Put smallpox in blankets. What did he do to the so-called blacks in America during the Tuskegee experiments?
Yep.
Giving blacks sickle cell, man. This damn devil's gotta go, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Doc.
Come on.
Hey, and you devils that die of diseases, you deserve it, man. You damn devils deserve it.
That's right, man. Cancer, good. Good. And I'll read it again.
Yeah, it's devils.
Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Good.
Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants such as were honorable, and he had brought slack. I'll read it again. Wherefore he called his servants such as were honorable, I mean honorable to him. Okay, he could trust them, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them 4 parts, while he was alive.
4 parts?
It doesn't say 4 parts, but it was 4.
Yeah, because that's who the Alexander the Great trusted in the most. His 4 generals, because when he died, he parted his kingdom into 4 different kingdoms. All right, that's part of history. That's not in the Bible, but it's in the Bible.
Right. It's, right. It doesn't say 4 parts, but it's certain.
Well, it says it in Daniel.
It does say it in Daniel. You're absolutely right.
I'll bring that up.
Yeah, if you want to get that. Yeah, while you get that, you know exactly where it is?
Yeah.
All right, I'll read it up again. Verse 5, and after these things, so after he done pillaged all the nations around about, Alexander, okay, says, after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die. So now he actually got sick. You got the scurvies. You got the scabies. You got syphilis. It's some nasty ass disease. You got the syphilis, and he perceived that he should die. So I ain't gonna make it much longer. Verse 6, wherefore he's called his servants such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth. So the same guys that he knew from his youth, he called them forth and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. Okay, so now he was still alive. He got his most honorable servants, okay, which was his 4 generals, and parted the kingdom amongst them. Okay, let me know when you got it. Right.
This is let me see where I can start. This is Daniel. This is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 5. Well, I'll start at this you gotta get into it a little bit. Yeah, it is. This is Daniel chapter 8 verse 3. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, which that's talking about the Persian Medo Empire, because that was a kingdom that was ruled by 2 different nations. The Persians being the greater and the Medes being the lesser. But one was higher than the other. There you go. That's the explanation. And the higher came up last, meaning the Persians ruled and overtook the Medes at the last end. Verse 4, and I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him, because the Persian Medo Empire was a great nation at that time. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great. Verse 5, and as I was considering, behold, a he-goat, that he-goat being Alexander, came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and the west meaning Macedonia, and touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which the brother just read, that Alexander destroyed Darius. He conquered Darius.
Yep.
Okay, yep. And let me get back to it. And the ram, where was I? And he came, verse 6. Daniel chapter 8, verse 6. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which had been standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. Because when Alexander the Great took over the Persians, he destroyed them completely and utterly. He came at him with a full force, man. Okay? Verse 7. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and broke his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast down to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. All right, and this is when Alexander became sick, like we just read. And for it came up 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of earth, of heaven. So you had the one going to the west, you had one going to the east, you had one going to the south, and you had one going to the north. Those were the 4 generals that Alexander gave power over his kingdom to. Okay? So that goes to prove that scripture, man.
Boom. Water. So back into it again. It says, First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, okay, like you just read there, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. Verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Okay, so he died.
Good riddance.
Yeah. Thank you, God.
Well, they didn't know that it was going to get worse.
Hey, they had no idea. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule everyone in his place. Okay, just like the brothers brought out.
The north, the west, the 4 winds. It's like I said, the 4 winds.
Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And here's the point.
Because what? You had Ptolemy the first, Ptolemy the second, Ptolemy the third. You had Seleucid the first, Seleucid the second. You had Cassander. You had, what's the other one? You had Cassander, Ptolemy, Seleucid, Antigonus, or Antiochus. All right, there was a 5th one. I can't remember his name. It started with an L.
Yeah, I'm supposed to remember those names. Right?
Lasamachus.
Oh, dang.
Lasamachus. There you go. You know.
So it says, after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years.
Yep.
Here's the point of the whole reason to bring this out. And evils were multiplied in the earth. You see that? So after this man, Alexander, he came into power and did what he did because the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, okay? He gave the fatness of the earth to Esau. After this man came up and did that, guess what? Evils were multiplied upon all the earth. And now we're here today in the year 2018, so to speak, and this place is completely covered in filth and evil. And who's still ruling?
Yep.
The same guys, the sons of this man. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. Because what? You have some brothers that have said that Donald Trump might be Antiochus.
Yeah, they say that.
Epiphanes.
Yeah.
Epiphanes.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, you know, we speculate, you know, through the scriptures we read, and we try to correlate with what's happening in the scriptures with what's happening today.
Right.
You know, that's the part of being a visionary. That's the part of being a prophet. Because if you don't do that, then you might not be a prophet. But that's okay. If you can't envision, then that's okay too, as long as you're still doing the work of the Lord and you're still doing His will. That just means you're not a prophet. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's teachers. I mean, you know, there's helps.
Yep.
You know, there's all different types of offices for this thing.
Yep.
Okay. There's all different types of offices amongst Israel.
You might just be a vessel created for vengeance.
You might be. You know.
You might just be out here to create it to slay a bunch of Edomites in those days, man.
But if you be part of the elect,
Yeah.
you know, you don't necessarily have to be a prophet, because there's some people that actually just help the prophet and then just remain in their wickedness, and the Lord might still have mercy upon them because they helped the prophet out so he could continue the ministry. Because right now we are the righteous on the earth. Esau is the wicked. He multiplied evils upon the earth. All right. Let me bring this out here because we're just talking about offices. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12. I'll start at the top. It says, Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Wherefore I give you unto
Where were we led? We were led into slavery, man. And what are those dumb idols? Those same idols that you people are worshiping today. That cross, Jesus Christ, those are all dumb idols. Buddha, Shiva, right?
You got niggas actually worshiping Buddha.
You got men worshiping rocks.
Yeah, Kanaka was saying that shit. Pops.
You got men worshiping women. That's dumb idols, man.
Yeah,
you got what? The Guadalupe, Virgin Mary. That's all
Virgin
dumb
Mary.
idols because none of those things are worshipped in the scriptures. Read the Bible and you'll see that none of it is in there.
Yeah,
It talks about them, but it's not talk. It doesn't say worship them.
It's basically using them as examples.
Yep.
It's like they're worshiping Diana. Okay, you know what I'm saying? All that shit.
Ephesians, you like?
Yeah, the Ephesians were.
Ephesus.
Yeah. Ephesus. Yeah. Are you good? So read it again. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Like the brother broke down. Verse 3. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of the Most High calleth Yahushai accursed, and that no man can say that Yahushai is the Lord, but by the Holy Spirit.
Because the only people that are calling on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and saying that Yahushai is the Hamashiach are the men of the Lord.
God.
Because otherwise you have either Jesus Christ or he is what I wanted to be.
Right. Hamashiach type of thing.
Yeah. You know?
Reading
That's
on.
why I said through the Spirit
Yeah.
or in the Spirit.
It says, I read it again. It says, wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of the Most High calleth Yahushai accursed, and that no man can say that Yahushai is the Lord, but by the Holy Spirit.
So you ain't going to be calling on the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rucham unless you have the Spirit of the Lord upon you.
Verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit.
Yep. Same Spirit. So it's still the same Spirit that's upon you. It's just different gifts that you get. Because everybody has their own lot. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. While you read that, continue to read, brother.
God. Verse 5. And there are differences in administrations. I'll read it again. And there are diversity. I'm sorry, brothers. Verse 5. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. Okay? So like the brother was just saying, you know, everybody has different offices, but it's of the same power. Reading on. Verse 6. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all. Okay? Because you can't run a ministry or a business or anything like that without everybody taking to their own life, doing their own part of the service, if you will. Okay, you got someone that cleans, you got someone that works the front desk, you got someone that handles the finances. That's the only way it's going to work out. I mean, we're talking of a carnal thing, but I'm just breaking it down so that maybe you understand. Same thing goes with the spirit. You got what you got?
Yep. And this is the parable about the sower and the seed. This is I'm just gonna get straight to the point.
Okay.
This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them.
Right.
But other fell into good ground, and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. So you're gonna have brothers in here who have different gifts that have different abilities to do different things in this truth, man. Not everybody that's meant to be a man of the Lord is gonna be doing 100-fold.
You got the same measure.
Yeah, some brothers are going to be doing 100, some brothers are going to be doing 60, some brothers are going to be doing 30, according to the gift that was given unto them.
Right, some 10.
Yeah, some 10.
You know? Exactly. And that's beautiful you brought that up.
Hey, bring that out again, man.
Go ahead.
On your mind, man.
Yeah. The Matthew?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 8. Really, you can read, if you want to read about the whole. Well, I'll start from the top real quick and read through, just to get through it real quick. This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 1. The same day went Yahushua out of the house and sat by the seaside. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came up, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
It's like we're spiritually sowing the seeds right now. And that's really what he's saying.
Yep.
We're sowing the seeds right now, the seed being the truth.
Yep.
All right? We're sowing them. Some of it fall to the wayside and get devoured. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5. And some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth.
Right, so they, read on.
And forthwith they sprang up because they had no deepness of earth.
Right, because
Well, let me finish. And when the sun was up, they were scorched because they had not root, they withered away.
okay, Slaki. Water. Yeah, see that? So now
They were
some
fire.
of, yeah, some of them, you know what I'm saying?
They came right out of the, like Jack in the Box. They came flying out of there, boy.
You see that? So some of this is gonna fall upon deaf ears, and some of it's gonna fall upon ears where it's actually gonna help that man grow, all right, and become basically open them up to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay.
But that one grew up and then got burnt.
Yeah, well, yeah, the sun
He had no
scorched it. The sun actually scorched it, so he grew up to a point, okay? And then what happened is, he maybe got too big for his britches, all right? And
His big boy pants didn't fit.
and the Lord had to
belt
chop
didn't
his
have
ass
enough
down.
holes.
Yeah, you start teaching the mark of the beast is a philosophy, and then what happened is, you die, okay? Something happened to you, you're not in the thing no more. Go ahead.
Verse 7, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. And that's the cares of this world. Those are those men that came into this truth. They try to endure as long as they could, but what? At the end of the day, the cares of this world, their women, their children, the money, the lust for money, the riches of this world, it pulled them out. It was too much for them. They couldn't endure. And we've met Schwab. That was one of them guys. He tried to endure as much as he could, but what? His woman, he wanted to make money in this world. It pulled him out, man.
Which one was Shmuel?
He was Asheray.
Yeah. And that,
Happy as he, right?
happy, yeah, he's still out there.
Happy as can be.
Happy.
Hey, but verse 8, this is the point.
Yeah.
But other fell onto good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
And that's you brothers that learn from the apostles and are out there preaching the word and woke up brothers like myself and these brothers here. All right, and brothers that are listening right now on the internet. Okay.
That's why it's important for brothers, especially brothers that are heads of camps, to not get down on brothers because they're not on the same level as them, man. Because not every brother is meant to be on the same level. Just because a brother is not progressing as you was progressing, that doesn't mean that a brother's not on the same level as you. He's still, at the end of the day, we all still receiving the same penny, man. No matter what lot you have, no matter if you're going to receive that 100-fold, or you're going to bring forward that 60 or 30 or 10 or 5
or 2,
you still going to receive the same penny at the end of the day, man.
That's right, brothers. It's that salvation.
And
at the end
I'm
of the
going to
day.
get that real quick just to make that point so people don't think I'm talking on my ass.
Con. Yeah, and I'll finish this up then. So back in the 1 Corinthians, well, actually, no, get that just so you could keep the point on point. Yeah, man, and that's a beautiful point he made, because again, you gotta look at it this way. You got us out here, you know, on the highways and byways, we're pushing this word out. You got those that are listening, that are actually through the Holy Spirit. All right, it fell upon them to understand what they understood. And just by some people just going out there and re-uploading other brothers' videos, that might bring somebody into the truth. You understand? Just by you going out there, you don't have the spirit on you to go on the highways and byways. You may not know enough scriptures to actually go out there and preach and make a video, but you believe. So what are you doing? Maybe you upload other brothers' videos, and that's your lot. You have a page of other brothers' videos, and you get edified. And at the same time, you're edifying others by pushing out the word that other brothers is pushing out, which is the same thing.
Yeah,
okay?
Because nobody, the Lord has set us up as judges, so we're able to judge things of this world. But we can't say who that man is because of what he's doing. Hey, that man's doing what he's doing according to the Spirit of the Lord, man.
Yep.
So who are we to say, all right, that ain't a man of the Lord? He just uploads videos. Hey, you might not be doing what a prophet does, but does that mean you're not a part of the elect? Does that mean you're not a man of the Lord? That I don't know. That's not up to me.
Not up to us. That's his measure. He doesn't have the spirit to go out there and do what we do.
Not everybody's a prophet.
You got what you got?
Yeah. It's a little bit lengthy if you want to get into it, but if you want me to hit the point, I'll get to the point. I'll read the first part and then
Yeah, you bring it up to the point. Yeah, to get to the point.
I'll read Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. All right, so he hired the laborers. He hired the laborers for a penny a day.
The wage.
All right. And then you can read, brothers can read that, but I'm going to skip down for the sake of time and get to the point here. Verse 8, Matthew chapter 20, verse 8. So when evening was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and bring them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. So everybody got that same penny.
Got their wage. Yep.
But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, these guys that just came in, they're getting the same amount of money as me. I've been in this for, let's keep reading.
Yeah, go ahead.
Saying, these last have brought but 1 hour. So these men just worked 1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour. And they got a penny? The same you promised me when I first came in?
It's fucked up, man.
And I've been working 11 hours. This guy worked 1 hour, I got a penny, he got a penny.
Fucked up, son.
But you can't be like that in this truth, man. But let's keep reading.
Yeah, please.
Verse 12, saying, these last have brought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. So, you've been burdened, you've been dealing with the bullshit your whole entire time in this truth.
Yep.
But you being disgruntled about the man that just came into camp. He just came in at the last hour and he received the same penny as you.
Yep. Talks about the 11th hour. Go ahead.
But he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny?
Yep.
Take that thine is Salak, take that thine is and go thy way. I give unto this last, even unto thee. Okay? It says, it is not lawful for me to do what I will with my own. Is that I am evil because I am good? It says, so the last shall be first, and the last, and the first last. For many be called, but few are chosen. So that goes into being humble. You don't want to, because what? Esau right now, he's ahead of everybody right now. Because Esau's pride. Esau has to be the first at everything because he's that proud. That's why he'll kill Jake. That's why he'll go into these sports industries and have and shame Jake, so that whenever he wants to, when Jake gets too much into it, he'll pull his ass, he'll pull the rug underneath him because Esau wants to be the one at the top, man. So that's why it's important to be humble in this thing, man. Because just because another brother came in at the last hour, or another brother doesn't have the same skill set as you, doesn't mean that you ain't gonna receive. He ain't gonna receive the same penny as you are, man. That's just what it is. That's what the Lord said, man. You agreed to this, right? What the Lord said. Count the cost, right?
Count the cost.
Hey, you putting all this labor in for a penny. Count the cost.
Y'all gonna get the same thing at the end of the day.
That's right, man.
Hey, you can't be salty at the other man that just came in last week and is on the highways and byways, and he's promised the same price at the end. Okay, no, man. We want to see people come in this thing. We want to see people. What are you doing out here then? If you've been out here for 30 years, I'll say 10 years. If you've been out here for 10 years and you get salty at a brother that he came here for 1 year, and the elders are like him, but they don't say nothing about you, but you're still in it and you're still getting sheep. What are you worried about? We all want the same. We're all doing the same thing. And
we're all getting the same reward.
We're all getting, yeah, exactly. We're not doing the same thing. We're all getting the same reward. The point is to continue, okay, and to hold your lot, whatever your lot may be. Whatever your lot may be. So you're a prophet, and you prophesy, and you break down the scriptures, you have the Holy Spirit on you. That's a beautiful thing. If another person's a great reader, whatever. If another person, matter of fact, let me just finish reading this because it breaks that down. Let me see that light. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4. It says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord.
And who's that Lord? That's the Lord over the vineyard,
Yep,
man.
same. That's like the brother was breaking down. That's the whole reason why he got it.
Yep.
Okay, the same Lord. Okay. Verse 6. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all, or all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. Okay? So the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. Okay? So whatever that, and it's going to break it down even more. Verse 8. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge, by the same Spirit though.
So you're going to have some brothers that are wise, but you're going to have some brothers that have a lot of knowledge.
Know a lot of things.
Yeah, man.
You know? This brother here, he everything that comes out of his mouth is a parable and it's pure wisdom, and you're always edified of his words. He may, you know, it's just the wise sayings, okay, an elder or whatever the case is. But then you may have a younger man that just studied a lot and he knows everything about the history. He could break down this, he could break down what's going on in the government. He knows all that's knowledge.
Or you might have a brother who's been through a lot that pertain in his life that he can correlate with the scriptures.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly. He can.
As an experience to help brothers who are going through similar situations.
A younger man,
you know?
a younger man, he might be younger in the flesh, but that same young man might be older than you in the spirit. But since you're older in the flesh, okay, you have more life lessons that you can teach the younger brother that happens to be older than you in the spirit. He has more wisdom, but you have more knowledge. You dig it? So with that, it says,
right, vice versa too sometimes. You might have a brother who's younger in the flesh that's been through a lot more than another brother that's older in the flesh.
He might have been in jail for 5 years. He might have been to foster homes. You know, a
bunch of shit.
Yeah, been through several accidents. Broke his collarbone.
He's been homeless. He's been all types of things, man.
Yep.
You know, whatever it is, man. Hey, man, every brother has their own gift that's been given unto them by the Lord. It's up to the Lord to determine what that gift is. It's not up to you. It's not up to me.
But then it says here,
But we all fit that puzzle, man. Go ahead.
and it says here by the same Spirit. So that's the point there. It's all by the same Spirit. So whatever you have that, he has this, he has that, he has all different things, but it's all by the same Spirit. Verse 9, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. So you got a brother that may know the herbs, okay? You know, he don't have knowledge of government offices. He don't know the history of all that too much. He may not know how to break down every scripture in the Bible, but he knows how to work them herbs. He knows how to heal a mosquito bite or a snake bite, or whatever the case is.
How to keep ants away from the cars.
He knows that shit. You know what I'm saying? He knows what oil to put in the thing or whatever to keep the pests away. And hey, that helps the body out. What do you mean? What are you upset about that man for? Because he doesn't know how to break down 2 Ezra chapter 11. Don't be mad at him because of that. But he can heal you if you break your goddamn arm. Or if you get some kind of flesh-eating disease, he can heal that shit.
Save your ass, bro.
Yeah. He's part of the body, man. Reading on. Healing by the same Spirit. Verse 10. To another, the working of miracles. Okay? To another, prophecy. To another, discerning of spirits.
Right, so you might have a brother who's good into understanding prophecy. So an event might happen and that brother be like, oh shit, that's talking about this in the scriptures. That's talking about this. You just talking about that. Like, oh shit, the riots over here and talking about this. That's this in the scriptures.
Yep.
It might be that swift with the prophecies. And what was the last one?
It says, and another, the discerning of spirits.
So you might have a brother that can, he'll be just at camp, he'll be always quiet, but if someone ever comes up to camp and asks us questions, that brother will be like, nah, don't answer that dude's question. I don't like that brother's spirit.
Yep.
I don't like that spirit, because he's a good discerner of the spirit, and he's able to see. The Lord gave him that spirit to be able to see that dude's coming with a perverse spirit, man.
That's his office.
Yeah, man.
I don't have that, but he has that. Okay, he can sense the demon on that man that I'm completely oblivious of. Okay, he's better at that than him. But it's all of. But I'm better. But I might be better at speaking or reading. But he's better at discerning. This guy got devils on him. Don't talk to me. Nah. See that? But it's all the talents are all the same spirit. Dig? And then it says, to another, diverse kinds of tongues.
So you might have a brother who could talk a bunch of different tongues. Prime example, Apostle Gabar.
Oh, yeah.
Speaks English, Italian, what else?
Probably speaks Spanish.
I'm pretty sure he speaks a little bit of Spanish.
If he knows Italian though, Latin, he knows Latin.
Latin, there you go, Latin.
Okay.
You got a brother from London over there, speaks English. He speaks the Latin
Dutch.
very fluently, the Dutch.
German, I think the brother speaks
Hey,
German.
that brother speaks a lot
sign
of
language.
language.
He speaks sign language.
Right, man.
Yeah.
You got the brothers in Holland who speak sign language as well, plus Spanish and English.
I think they're
Upon numerous other ones, because some brothers in Holland, I believe it's the head brother. They might be all the brothers. They may all be into it, man. But it's something that happens with the brothers in these other countries, man. They